So today I want to talk to you about some video I found that I find it very, very interesting, and it touches some very important subjects that I want to talk to you about. So let's go.
Influencers are not helping you heal. They're keeping you stuck. They talk
Mhm.
about growth, but sell fear. They talk about self-worth, but package it as luxury and ego. And while the message sounds empowering on the surface, the deeper you listen, the more something feels off. How
Yeah, because most of them, even the Wizardlies, uh, are making content the type of the sky is blue type of content. Like they take this general affirmation, this general truth, and they make it their whole personality, and they're like taking some basic stuff that a woman and a man should know, but this content is for women mostly, is dedicated to them. Like self-respect, right? Like you should have it, I should have it. In theory, in the theory, we all have it, right? But we don't all have it. So there are some teenagers that are still developing, some women with trust issues in themselves, and they see Wizard Liz that is saying the sky is blue, the sky is blue, the sky is blue, and they are like, OMG, yeah, the sky is blue. So yeah, I know it doesn't make any sense, but it's like the Wizard Liz or any other life coach comes here and says, "Hey, you should have self-worth. You should not let anybody step on you." And you are like, "Oh my god, what she said. OMG, this is genius." But yeah, you knew that. Everybody knew that. But the fact that you are conscious that you are not doing that in your own life, like you don't practice self-love in your life, reminds you why you should. I don't say it's their fault, it's not their fault. It's our fault because we gave strength to these women that are saying general truth, and then we are disappointed in them because they don't act as perfect as they preach us, you know, to act. And they're saying like sky is blue, um, self-confidence, you should not accept cheating, blah blah blah, basic truths. And anybody can come on YouTube and just shout out with their big mouth and be like, honey, you deserve more, listen to me. Like, I don't try to bully Wizard Liz uh, or anyone because, again, it's not her fault. She's just saying some general truth. Like, we gave her the power. We made a person famous because she was just telling you basic stuff. And maybe I don't know, she educated some teenagers, and I'm sure some good stuff came out of this. I myself listened to her until I saw a pattern. I saw that she is very, how to say, um, she's telling the same stuff under other propositions, and I was like, man, this is the sky is blue type of shit content. Sky is blue, sky is blue. I know I'm repeating myself, but it's something really obvious, and she makes it sound very luxurious and very OMG, like you discovered Antarctica or some shit. And if it helped you, I'm so glad for you because it helped me too. Like sometimes you forget who you are, and that's okay. You have Wizard Liz to tell you, honey, get up. But you should not have this, how to say, expectation from Wizard Liz, which she's a very young woman, to be like have the perfect life. I know it's disappointing because she doesn't have, but we are humans and not everything we say we do. She has a huge following by saying sky is blue. Gotta, that's not easy. And she worked very hard. And yeah, do your thing, girl. Let's see.
fellow warriors.
Wow, I talked a lot.
To the goddess of war. Today, we're breaking down the uncomfortable truth about female self-help gurus, why we follow them, what they're really selling, and how some of their advice is doing more harm than good. The first problem with these gurus should be the most obvious, but unfortunately, it's the most overlooked. They are worshipped for their faces, not because they say something we don't already know.
Ah, yeah, that's true. That's true. That's so true. I must not lie to you and say that I watched Wizard Liz because the first thing that made me watch her, and I'm a woman and I like guys, unfortunately. And the first thing was her face, and I was like, oh my god, this woman is stunning. And being stunning mixed with saying the right things makes you unbeatable.
Let's just be honest for a second. A lot of these female empowerment creators are popular mainly because they're gorgeous. They have perfect skin, symmetrical faces, soft voices, shiny hair. It's like watching a Disney princess give you life advice.
Oh,
What would happen if
true.
they didn't look like that? If a regular looking woman with
Yeah. That's true. If a basic girl will come to you and tell you, trust yourself, honey. Do that, honey. Don't go out with him if he doesn't have money. Honey, you have to respect yourself. You are like, "Pfft, who are you to tell? Like, you won't believe shit, you know? Next.
genetic luck, no makeup, no Botox, fillers, or surgeries, said the exact same words. Do you really think people would repost her videos with motivational music in the background? No way. People might even laugh at her and call her delusional. And we both
As much as we like it or not, we are visual beings and we like to glorify this type of peoples. Like people that, look extremely good. We wanna be them. We are like, yeah, I am her, she's me, TikTok type of edits. And will average women look good in those TikToks, or will someone take you seriously if you will repost her TikToks? Will say like, look who she's following, an average B word, like, because yeah, some of y'all maybe watch content because they have something interesting to say, but most are watching because she's beautiful. They wanna be her, mostly teenagers, I think. And yeah, that's the deal. Let's see.
know it. That's the problem. If these influencers didn't look like that, they wouldn't go viral for saying things we already know.
Yeah.
They don't even need a compelling thumbnail.
Yeah.
Because they are the thumbnail. People act like they're inspired by the message, but really, they're mesmerized by the face saying it. Now, do not misunderstand this. There's nothing wrong with appreciating beauty. My point is about
No.
how shallow our society is.
True.
People don't click on these videos just to get advice.
Yeah.
They click because they see an extremely beautiful person
Yeah.
talking. But when we start confusing beauty with wisdom, we lose the point. And that thought leads us to the next point, which is even deeper. Beauty has become the measure of a woman's worth. There was this recent trend online after a certain famous self-help queen got cheated on. And yes, I'm talking about the wizard Liz. People kept saying, if she got cheated on, nobody is safe. At
Oh
first
my
it sounded like
god.
sympathy, but if you really listen, there's something darker hiding underneath.
I'm convinced that all men cheat at this point.
I'm seeing so many girls online right now saying that if this happens to Liz, of all people, then we're all cooked, which is very valid because she's probably one of the most beautiful women I've ever seen online.
What people are
Oh
missing
my god. Beauty is really not everything. She is stunning, really, but that doesn't mean you are immune to cheating. Like, I learned that on my way. Like, it doesn't matter how a person looks, it matters how that person makes you feel, really. Because you might fall in love first with the beauty and then be like, damn, he is so shallow. I have nothing to say to him. And he has a shallow personality, and find a guy that it's mid or ugly, how society says, and you be like, damn, he makes me feel like awesome. With guys also, like, yeah, it's the same. It can be the same. That doesn't mean they have to cheat, of course. But I say the beauty doesn't matter that much. It's like 50%. But the other 50% is important also. That is not having things in common. I don't believe in that because we can love ourselves even if we are different, because that's the fun part. We learn from each other more. If we are different, we don't have to be the same. That's annoying. I like chocolate ice cream. I like it too. I do that too. Just give me a break. Just teach me something new. Just how do you say, how let's live an adventure. Let's just show me your way. I discover every day something new in you. If you are the same as me, I'm not curious. I'm like, yeah, I'm enjoying it for a moment, but then I'm like, you know, bored as fuck.
basically saying is, if she, the most attractive, famous, and successful version of a woman, still got disrespected, then the rest of us have no shot. Society is implying that if someone conventionally beautiful and idolized can be betrayed, then women who don't meet those standards are, what? Disposable? Unworthy of loyalty? This mindset is dangerous because it ties loyalty and basic respect to how close someone looks to an Instagram filter.
I think this man did that because he could. He was like, I know it's evil. He was like, yeah, I have her, blah, blah, blah. I got her pregnant. And look what I did. Look what I did. I did it, guys. Yeah. And now I don't want to discuss her decisions. It's her problem what he does next with her life. But I think that guy is really evil. Because he planned all this. Because it's like a book strategy. First, I got her pregnant. How to make a woman suffer, all right? Make her fall in love, which is not pretty hard. You just have to be a fucking decent human being. Then leave her pregnant, make her fall in love with the plans, with how our future will look like, blah blah blah. Put ideas in her head like, yeah, babe, we're gonna do this, we're gonna have a huge family, and then, oh, I did a mistake. And of course, she will forgive you because you implanted her this illusion that we're gonna be a happy family. And she's like, the fuck no, I'm not giving up that future with you because you cheated on me with some random girl or with your ex or I don't know, Snapchat thing. Like, this is 101 evil. And I hope Landon is happy. But I know in his mind, he is like, yeah, I'm happy I did that for you guys. Like, he feels very proud because this woman seemed undefeatable and like very cutthroat type of woman. Like, you do me wrong, you're it, you're that shit, you know? And he was like, oh yeah? Let's see how that goes. So yeah, this thing of being internet famous gave her lots of advantages. And some loser like this appears in your life and does this shit. I don't know what she does next. I don't care, but yeah.
The truth is that even if you are the most beautiful and successful woman in the whole universe, that alone doesn't make you any less likely to get cheated on.
Yeah.
Because cheating has nothing to do with you. But looks are just the surface. There's a much darker issue hiding underneath. And that issue is this. These influencers are human too. No matter how spiritually evolved someone seems, at the end of the day, they're just human,
True.
just like you and me. They mess up, miss red flags, and get their hearts broken just like everyone else.
Yeah, like, it's easy to say, girl, how can you not see? You can't see. You can't see that he's gonna cheat on you. You can't see. You simply can't. When you are in that situation, that in love, and you have no choice. Like, when you are in that situation and that in love, and you find out he was cheating on you, it's like someone hit your head very bad. You are like, where did that came from? You know, like, what? And everybody around you will be like, yeah, girl, we knew he will because he's an average man and you are fucking Wizard Liz. Like, he clearly felt that complex of, and the only way he can be superior to you is harm you. Like, I bet he said, I bet you didn't see that coming, Liz. Yeah, I know he gets a lot of hate and death threats and all that shit. And this will be a sensitive video, maybe for some. But I think that was evil 101.
It's when someone starts believing they're above pain, like they're too high vibe to ever be deceived. That's when they fall into their own trap.
True.
There's one thing about me. When I try to manifest a relationship, I get it like this. Like,
Oh,
I get it like this.
You know,
yeah.
these people constantly talk about how they manifested everything in their life. But manifestation, as it's sold online, is honestly just fluff.
Then also, I started thinking about, okay, what kind of partner do I want? And once I literally wrote down the kind of partner I want, and I have never done this before, I literally attracted him and met the exact
Or you thought you did.
This idea sounds too good to be true.
Yeah,
Guess what?
it is.
It all humbles you. No matter who you are.
True.
You don't manifest
True.
your way out of betrayal.
True.
You don't
True.
manifest your way to a healthy relationship, success,
True.
and money.
True.
Because life
True.
teaches you the hard way.
True.
The most real, grounded kind of
Congratulations for the girl that did this video. It's a very, how to say, true,
comes from lived experience.
legit.
Falling, learning, healing, and trying again. I'm not saying this to discredit anyone. I'm saying it
Of
as a
course.
reminder to you and to
Mm-hmm.
myself that no one is invincible. Nobody's perfect or untouchable, not even the most enlightened ones among us. I also say this not just as advice, but as a real talk for myself too. Even I sharing this advice mess up sometimes, make mistakes.
Of course.
Overlook warning signs I've talked about in other videos. That's because we all see the world through our own experiences.
True.
And that's totally normal.
Mm-hmm.
This is why we should never blindly worship or put anyone on a pedestal.
True.
Everyone
And
is
take
different.
everything with a grain of salt.
And just because someone shares advice or seems spiritually advanced doesn't mean they have all the answers or are above struggle.
True.
So it's important to filter what you hear, keep what resonates, discard what doesn't,
Yeah.
and most importantly, trust your own judgment. We are all human, and our journeys are personal. But here's the thing. There's something even more toxic that runs through a lot of modern female self-help content. And that is that they give superficial dating advice. It's something I've noticed in a lot of the most followed voices in modern femininity. Women like Shira7, MJ the Garden Fairy, even Wizard Liz. They're not the same, but they often preach different versions of the same core message.
True.
Stuff like, never settle for less luxury than you deserve.
And that's true.
Trusted.
And that's true.
Give as little as possible.
I personally include
That's true.
I've never trusted a man, ever. I've never met a man who was not driven by his lust. If I am going to enter some kind of relationship with a man, I have to be getting some kind of collateral. I use men for what they're good for. And what they're good for depends on the man. Get the man with resources and learn to love him if you must have one.
A lot of this isn't empowerment. It's fear, dressed up as self-protection. It's ego, disguised as self-worth. If you really listen, you can hear where they're coming from. Pain, betrayal, disappointment, and that's human.
Of
But
course.
like we said earlier, people speak through their wounds, and that's why they often end up...
Yeah, like, nobody can blame you for not trusting men. Because, hello, so much is happening in this world. And I'm like that too. I don't trust men. And, I don't know. I'm like, until you prove me wrong, it's nothing to trust you. Because they, most of the time, have the leverage of power, like physic power. And when you go to a date, you are, they are afraid that you are ugly, and you are afraid that you will be unalived. So yeah, we are kind of different. You can blame us for hating men. You can hate them, or you can not hate them and avoid them. It's legit. It's normal. And now people will say I promote hate. I don't promote hate of, like, hate all men and blah blah blah. I just, that thing that not all men, but every woman has a story with a man. So I'm sorry, I can trust no man. I might be wounded, and that's why I say that. But I'm also self-protecting of my feelings and of my body. So forgive me. I don't want to go on a date with a guy I don't even know, or blind date, or because we all see what is happening. We all have seen the news, and our life most of the time depends on how men feel. Like if he feels like you, he can do it. Like, I personally don't blame you, woman, watching this, if you don't trust men or if you hate them. I'm 100% misandrist. I hate them because I have so many reasons to do. That's problematic. Ooh.
Generalizing their experiences.
But anyway, get him obsessed to give you money. He can't be a broke dusty. That's number one. You gotta have some real money. You gotta actually be the target. And
Shira 7, it's a woman that I don't know if you have to take her advices seriously. Like, mostly it makes you laugh. Yeah, she says some general truth, but like, yeah, I look at her and see her videos sometimes, but it's for fun and entertainment, and that's how I think that should be watched and not taking too seriously, because we only know what she says. We don't know her life. We only know what she says. And yeah, let's watch the video.
go over what I said earlier in the video. You gotta be about your money. That means you got talk money, walk money, breathe money.
Think about it. If you take this mindset on and start seeing men as tools to be used, who do you think you're going to attract?
Yeah, that's true.
Sense of self.
That's true.
Like tools,
You will attract a tool.
a tool,
Yeah.
not a grounded man, not someone emotionally secure, not someone who's present and able to meet you where you are.
Yeah.
Someone who's playing the same game back. Because not all men are the same. There are real masculine men out there.
Yeah, I agree. They are not all the same. I agree. Even if I'm a misandrist, I agree that not all are the same. And I'm convinced there are some good people out there. But again, I don't think there are a lot of them.
Can control their lust, who value emotional depth, who want connection. But if you're only chasing the money, you'll never attract them. Because that kind of man isn't looking for someone who's playing the same shallow game. And truthfully, your dating pool becomes extremely limited if your only filter is rich, handsome, and single. The sad truth is that a lot of these influencers go on and on about how to get princess treatment, how to ask for money from a man, how he should spoil you like a queen, but almost never talk about what love actually is.
I believe in you spoiling yourself like a queen and be able to date and be like, yeah, this date didn't go well, but at the end of the day, my rent is paid by myself. My life, my lifestyle doesn't depend on a man. I can buy everything I want and I need. Yeah, that date was not good, but I'm home. In my home, I'm taking shower with my water that I pay for, with my expensive shower gel that I paid for, and that's fine. That's what you should aspire to become. Not that woman that her lifestyle depends on what mood is the other person. If he's in the mood to give to you, he will. If you're not, you will starve, baby. So why starve?
Is, what it feels like, how to build something meaningful with someone. And that's because they've never experienced it.
I heard that you don't know how to get spoiled by men. And I heard that some of you, and honestly, my heart breaks every time I think about this, are paying for a man.
That's fucked up, yeah. Please don't pay for a man.
Love
Yeah,
chosen means being spoiled, because the truth is that
true.
lifestyle, the gifts, the spoiling, the princess treatment,
Yeah,
available to about 1%.
can hide a lot of things.
Fewer of them are emotionally
Can hide narcissism
and genuinely giving.
and bad behavior.
I do believe a man should lead, protect,
Because some men, it's easy for them to take luxury things for you. But you know what is not easy for them? To treat you right. Like listen to you when you're talking, give a nice advice, be a decent human being. They're like, yeah, I gave you flowers, I gave you a Louis Vuitton bag, I gave you $10,000 to shopping, but they're emotional unavailable, or they cheat, or they're never home with you, and I don't know, you know what I mean? Like, we think money is everything and money means love. Yeah, that is a part, because I won't go out with a guy that doesn't pay on dates. Like, it's a principle. Even though I have money, I expect you to pay. And don't bring me the what do you bring to the table? You don't like women if you think like that. And you should check yourself. Because if you don't like women, just do something else. It's legal. Or be alone for the rest of your life. Just don't put that question ever again. Because it's messed up as a man to say that. Yeah. So yeah, it's principle. It's like, hey, let me take care of you. Let me, And then I see, oh, he wants something serious. He wants to take care of me. Or he is disponible. He's available for trying. He wants to try for a serious relationship. The 1%, the minimum, the bare minimum is pay for the date. The other things is to be emotionally intelligent, meet me where I am. And I don't say to you to be perfect, just I want to see you try. Try. I want to see that man yearning, being like, really wants you, because most of y'all go out with women just to fuck them. And you really hate women. And I don't know why you would date them if you hate them. So buy a pocket pussy and sit home with your lazy ass pizza and just don't go out in the world and don't hurt other people. Yeah, that was personal, right? I don't care.
provide what he can. But here's the difference. Real love isn't just about what he gives you when everything's perfect. It's about how you show up when things fall apart. So ask yourself honestly, if he lost everything tomorrow, would you still be there?
No.
Would you support him?
No, because you wanted just money, so.
Hold it down, even temporarily, until he's back on his feet? Because that's the line between love and luxury.
True.
One is built on partnership. The other is just a transaction. Because the truth is, most men today just don't have that kind of money, especially with how the economy is. That's why, like I've said in another video, what really matters is whether he does what he can within his capacity. Even the smallest things, like driving you from point A to point B, or if he doesn't have a car, taking the bus home with you so you don't walk alone at night. He should find even the smallest ways to make your life easier. That's what real care looks like. It's not loud or flashy. It's consistent. But there's something even more important we need to talk about, and it might sting a little. These influencers teach you to not hold yourself accountable.
I don't need to bring anything else than my presence, my personality, who I am, and my beauty. I sit there, and that is good enough for them.
While this sounds empowering at face value, don't be fooled. It's not just about what a man does for you. It's also about what you bring into the relationship. Because it's one thing to have standards and another to be entitled entitled without self-awareness. If you want a provider and generous man, that's great. I want that myself too. But make sure you're also adding value to his life in some way. You can't expect princess treatment if you behave like a peasant. For example, you can't expect loyalty if you're still entertaining DMs on Instagram.
That's true.
You
Yeah.
can't ask for emotional maturity if you shut down when things get uncomfortable. You can't want a man to give you everything when you don't even treat him with basic respect. Like, how do you expect someone to appreciate you?
Yeah, we have to be a little self-aware, and be like, well, I want that partner, but how I am as a person, you know? I hate that. What you bring to the table. What, like, you should want the person that suits your lifestyle as you are as a person.
When you don't appreciate that for yourself. A healthy relationship isn't a one-way street. Love is not just about
Yeah, because a man should be not the source of happiness. A man should be just an extension, you know, and be like a dessert. But you're like full. You don't really need that dessert. But you have it in your life and it adds extra happiness to your happiness. You don't have to, oh, I need that man to be happy, to have money, to have, like, that's fucked up.
what you're getting. It's about what you're willing to build and show up for too. Bringing only your looks and personality into a relationship isn't enough. First,
Yeah, true. It's superficial.
girl can bring looks.
True, true.
Personality alone won't cut it either. You've got to show respect, loyalty, and
True.
effort. So yeah, don't settle for crumbs.
Of course.
Don't chase empty ideals either.
Okay.
Don't fall into the trap of having a checklist for others without holding yourself accountable.
Yeah.
Because the truth is that you can only ask for what you're also bringing to the table. You're
Hate
a
that.
successful woman making $10,000 a month? Amazing. Then yes, you can ask for a man who's on your level.
Yeah.
Because let's be honest, some men will feel insecure if they're not.
True, true, true. And they all cheat.
You can
Yeah.
absolutely ask for someone who takes care of
Uh huh.
themselves too. You are loyal, you can absolutely expect your man to control his lust. But what you can't do is demand the world while offering the bare minimum.
Uh huh.
Stop setting unrealistic expectations and calling it high standards.
Mhm.
Not because you don't deserve great love, but because real relationships are built on mutual value.
That's
mutual
true.
effort, and
Mhm.
mutual growth. But there's an even bigger problem with a lot of these female self-help gurus, and that is that they subtly train you to see men as the enemy.
You would like to date me, I would be collateral. I need to look back at our relationship together and feel like I got something out of it for when and if you betray me and waste my time. And now
I know I'm a misandrist and I hate men. But I'm not with being that type of woman that if you are, that's cool, that's fine, but with me it doesn't sit right as a human being just to be with a man for his money or for what he's having without having real feelings and use them, you know? Like, I'm not for that. Like, don't waste his time, don't waste your time, and just find someone that fits your life.
that's what I preach to you guys. So when people are like, oh, MJ, why is she giving a relationship advice? She's not in a relationship. I don't want to be in a relationship. I sleep like a baby at night because I don't worry about some man running around and cheating on me.
A lot of this content comes from pain, from real women who've been betrayed.
Yeah,
or deeply
yeah,
disappointed.
yeah, that's true.
Experience is valid.
It's valid, of course.
Sometimes myself too.
Uh-huh.
The problem is that instead of healing from it, they build an identity around it. They start to dangerously generalize their experiences. They start feeding you the idea.
I don't know. Like, whatever makes you feel better, Queen. Like, if you wanna make from weakness your power, that's on you, boo.
That all men are the same, that loyalty is impossible, that vulnerability is dangerous.
It is.
Love equals manipulation.
It is. It is.
I also talk about the ugly side of men too.
Most of the time, it is.
Not to turn you against them, but to protect you, to make you more conscious, not more bitter.
Yeah.
And I always remind you, not all men are the same. I don't generalize and I don't push fear, but sadly that's not always the case online. And if you keep listening without filtering, you start to believe it too. You begin approaching relationships with suspicion and defense.
As you should. I'm sorry, but that's about protecting yourself as a woman. Because as I said, they have the leverage. And yeah, you should be suspicious and defensive. Because he might behave really good until you get on the parking lot and he does something to you. And nobody sees you ever again. Why not be suspicious? Oh, because you have to trust people and... No, sorry, I don't trust men with the expense of my life. No, I don't do that. And you can say I'm sad. I'm a sad woman. And that's fine. Say that. But that's how I know to keep myself safe. Being in defense and already assuming the worst. Of course, on the exterior, I will talk, I will laugh. But in my mind, I will be like, okay, what's the next move? You might say, I saw too many movies, too many TikToks. Honey, I'm not gonna be the next news. The next big news. Okay? I don't wanna be on the news and be like, you know, in a suitcase or something. So yeah, forgive me for being in defense and a sad little woman. Yeah, I'm sad. Okay, leave it like that. But that's how I am. That's who I am. And I will not apologize for defending myself and for feeling that way.
You believe every man is a walking red flag.
Until the contrary, yeah.
Now I know genuinely good men feel very rare these days.
Yeah.
So do genuinely good women. And honestly, we even see it in female friendships. Because let's be real, do you really believe that every woman is emotionally mature? Do you really think women...
That's true, yeah, of course. Of course. That's true. Yeah.
Come on. We can't
Pick me, choose me.
moral high ground. Because the truth is that broken people come in all forms.
Okay,
Doesn't discriminate.
true.
These were just 5 of the biggest problems with female self-help gurus. But honestly, these issues are only the surface. Because the truth is, the entire self-improvement industry has a much deeper problem. And it's not just about women or men. It's about how we've been sold the idea that we're the ones failing.
Uh-huh.
In reality, it's the system that's failing us.
True.
So if you've ever felt like you're doing everything right but still feel behind, you need to watch this video.
Oh,
Maybe you're not broken. Maybe the blueprint they sold us is. It's time to unleash your inner confident goddess.
I love this.
Warrior.
Oh, so sweet. Yeah, I love this video so far. So, thanks for watching it with me. See you next time. Bye.